Would you please rise and join me in our processional hymn, Joyful, Joyful? Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with
All right, please be seated. Good morning. On behalf of the Dakota Wesleyan University Board of Trustees, I'm pleased to welcome each of you to the celebration of leadership and continuity as we install Dakota Wesleyan's 21st president, Dr. Daniel R. Kittle. In higher education, these ceremonies are known as inaugurations, a ceremonial induction into office or an investiture. The act of ratifying someone into office, investing them with the powers of decision-making, managing, and leading. Our task today is to ratify Dr. Kittle's place in the office of president and to invest him with the tasks and responsibility of leadership. Dr. Kittle chose today's theme for the ceremony, a community on purpose. Think about those words as we embark on our ceremonial events today. We have come together as a community of educators, supporters, alumni, students, faculty, staff, and friends. Our purpose is to witness this long-standing process of presidential induction, but also to help, assist, and guide Dr. Kittle along the way. Please silence your phones and follow along in your program and participate in this time set aside to honor the office of the President of Dakota Wesleyan University and to turn the page on the beginning of a new chapter of leadership. Now, please welcome the Reverend Rebecca Treves.
Please join with me as we recite the invitation to the investiture. Here is my servant, my chosen one. I will put my spirit upon him. To be prayerful together is our covenant. May he not grow faint or be crushed until justice is established and learning is brought to those who wait for teaching. To be supportive together is our covenant. I have given you the community of Dakota Wesleyan University to bring light to the nations, to open the eyes of those who are blinded by fear and hate. To be guided together is our covenant, to bring out those who are imprisoned in ignorance, and to bring out from behind prison walls the divide and separate the family of God's children. To be committed together is our covenant. Bless, O Lord, this day for the vision of our soul, the learning of our minds, and the work of our hands. Amen. May God be praised. Amen. And now the responsorial psalm composed by Dakota Wesleyan's own Dr. Clinton Desmond and Aaron Desmond.
Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and be faithful. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in God and God will act. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and be faithful. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in God and God will act. Be still before the Lord. Wait patiently. Refrain from anger, forsake wrath. The meek will inherit the land, and they shall live in abundant peace. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and be faithful. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in God and God will act. The steps of a man are established by the Lord when they delight in the way. Though they may fall, they shall not lose their way, for the Lord upholds their hand. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and be faithful. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in God and God will act. Wait for the Lord and keep the way. The Lord will exalt you to inherit the land. Mark the blameless, behold the upright. There is a future for a person of peace. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and be faithful. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in God and God will act.
Thank you, Dr. Clinton Desmond and Aaron Desmond, for that gift of an original composition. Now I would like to turn things over to several members of the Mitchell and campus community to provide greetings of welcome and symbolic gifts to Dr. Kittle. Our first speaker is Reverend Keith Nelson.
Good morning and welcome to this very special day. We are gathered here to celebrate a new beginning at Dakota Wesleyan University with the office of presidency being officially bestowed upon Dr. Kittle. The relationship between the university and the church is long in history, at least by American standards, and deep in a shared faith that is evident across this campus and throughout this day's events. As I stand here today representing the Dakota's Conference of the United Methodist Church and my own congregation at downtown Mitchell, First United Methodist, I'm honored to be the first of many you will hear from today to warmly welcome Dr. Kittle and his wife Ashley and their son Grant, to welcome you to our community. Together as a family, as you prepare to lead this institution into an unknown but bright future, know that you have the power of prayer supporting you, the act of service propelling you, the steadfastness of faith leading you, and the Lord watching over you. Today, in honor of your inauguration, I present you with a gift on behalf of the Dakota's Conference. This gift is a depiction of the cross and flame, the symbol of the United Methodist Church, and a replica of the beautiful stained glass piece designed by the late Minetta Green Millard, DWU class of 1963. The original stained glass once graced the chapel in the former Methodist Hospital and is now displayed in the Arlene Gates Department of Nursing in the Glenda K. Corrigan Health Sciences Center. The cross and the flame pays tribute to the tradition and partnership between the church and Dakota Wesleyan University. We hope this flame helps to light your way. And it also, the cross will remind you of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross. Congratulations and best wishes.
Good morning. On behalf of the City of Mitchell, I am honored to welcome Dr. Kittle as the next president of Dakota Wesleyan University. The relationship between Dakota Wesleyan University and our city goes back more than 135 years, when a group of Methodists chose to put down roots in our community and decided to establish a college in what was then Dakota Territory. Since that time, the City of Mitchell, the university, and Mitchell residents have bonded through work and play to establish an excellent long-term relationship together. As a community of 15,000 residents with a small-town feel, it is remarkable to look back and see the long line of graduates, faculty, staff, and leaders who have called Mitchell home and have had an impact both locally and globally. I am pleased to welcome you to join this lineage. Today, the City of Mitchell presents you with an evergreen tree. The evergreen tree has been used as a symbol of celebration for many generations. It represents strength, invincibility, survival, peace, goodness, and eternal life. We hope you'll put this tree in the yard of your house to literally put down roots in our community and use it to measure the many years that you will continue to call Mitchell home. On behalf of the entire community, I welcome you and congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Everson. And on behalf of the alumni of Dakota Wesleyan University, I am honored to be chosen to represent the many women and men who have graduated from this institution. Our time at Dakota Wesleyan was one of the most formative times of our lives. It gave us lifelong friends. Sometimes it even gave us a spouse, careers of interest and importance, a chance to share our gifts and talents with our families and our communities, and maybe I'm not close enough to this, and a strong faith basis that has supported us along the way. As you join the leadership of the university, know that you have literally thousands of alumni who are just a phone call away or an email away with a personal story and maybe a little advice. Today, on behalf of all Dakota Wesleyan University alumni, I present you with this gift. It's a copy of the Dakota Wesleyan University Memory Book, 1885 to 2010, written by Dr. James McLeod, and he worked on this book as any good historian would, with precision and detail. His intent was to tell the story of Dakota Wesleyan through the student experience and their stories. We could not think of a better way for you to familiarize yourself with the many alumni who have called this very campus home. We are fortunate that you have decided to make Mitchell, and wait a minute, we are fortunate that you and Ashley and Grant, oh, there you are, I haven't seen you yet, and Grant, we are fortunate that you are making Mitchell and Dakota Wesleyan your home, and we know that you enter the office as president well prepared to lead and to do so effectively. Welcome to all of you.
What a glorious day to celebrate Dakota Wesleyan University. All of you can take satisfaction in work well done, worthwhile service to many generations of students and their families, and valuable service to this community. It's a day of satisfaction, a day of congratulation, and also a day of newness, of anticipation. You have great work still to do. Your future is filled with promise and with peril, and today marks a new beginning, a time when you must shift your gaze from past successes to future achievements. You've called my dear friend, Dr. Daniel R. Kittle, to help you make that shift, to help you focus your vision on tomorrow. Dan, I was asked to give voice to those in the community of higher education who work alongside you. As you know, from early on in our country's history, small institutions like Dakota Wesleyan have played the critical role in preparing young people for meaningful lives, as you folks say in your statement of values, for lives of learning, leadership, faith, and service. Yours is an expansive, inclusive mission. You mean to serve all students who can grow intellectually and ethically here. While large universities must pursue many ends, including research that will bring us the next steam engine or the newest hybrid crop, Dakota Wesleyan's focus is on the individual student and on his or her success in life. During our many years of work together, Dan, I learned that your focus is completely consistent with Dakota Wesleyan's focus. Because I've seen you serve students night and day for the 13 years we worked alongside one another in the same vineyard, I know that you will continue to do so now, albeit from a different chair. In this noble task of addressing each student, of equipping each student to succeed and to lead a meaningful life, Dakota Wesleyan could not have made a better choice in your call. And speaking for the community of your institutional peers, the community of your colleagues who also seek to serve students, we welcome your voice among us, your enthusiasm for students, your commitment to their welfare, and your devotion to their successes. We look forward to the many ways that you and your colleagues will lift up students, empowering them for the lives we count on them to lead. To mark my welcome, I offer you a small token. It's a book, of course. Reflections on His Presidency at Princeton by William Bowen, who later served as president of the Mellon Foundation, with some of the good parts already underlined for you.
Thank you, Dr. Colson. I am pleased to be here today representing the faculty of Dakota Wesleyan University, and to note that you, Dr. Kittle, are now a member of that group by virtue of the office that you hold. Now, Dr. Kittle, you and some of the other newer members of our community here today may not know it, but I've somewhat by accident gained a reputation as a song and dance man. Many of those present will recall that on occasion I appear in various locations, even on this very stage, in a variety of costumes, with guitar in hand to celebrate long-serving members of our community, you know who you are, and significant events in the history of the university. Alas, due to our limited time today, and perhaps also the dignity of this particular occasion, and the fact that we have more accomplished musicians on hand, we will forego such demonstrations today. On the other hand, one might say that being a faculty member is a bit like being asked to do a little song and dance every day as part of an ongoing, decades-long university production, as we seek to engage students, impart a passion for learning, explore new vistas of knowledge through research and scholarship, create enduring memories, and participating in the planning and governance activities of the university. Even this particular event, with its pageantry, is like a well-produced show. We have costumes. We have props. We have flags. We have music. We have stage managers. You know who you are. And even an enthusiastic audience. As part of the production today, it is small. I present you this token on behalf of our faculty. This is a book weight. We give it to you to symbolize the gravitas that knowledge holds and the value of learning, one of the pillars that represent the missional values of Dakota Wesleyan University. As you use this, perhaps with the new book you got from Dr. Colson, know that you have the full weight of the faculty behind you. As we, lost my place here, you have the full weight of the faculty behind you in our shared endeavor of providing an excellent education for each of our students. We are pleased to be working with you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dr. Kittle, Ashley, Grant, and family, friends of the university. So about 3 weeks ago, I got an email from Dr. Kittle and asked if I would want to do this. So those of you know me very well, I'm usually hanging out back there someplace. So I put together a small list of pros and cons, very short. So the pros were, I get to speak in front of a whole lot of people. Second one is, I get to wear a suit and tie. So the cons were, I got to speak in front of a whole bunch of people. And the second one is, I got to wear a suit and tie. Laughed up to Matska, you're up here in 30 minutes, man. So my job today is to represent all the staff members who work to keep Dakota Wesleyan operational. Our jobs encompass many of the things, keeping buildings clean and maintained, paying bills, processing records, providing student support services for students, and making sure that they have a safe and supervised place to live. We will rely on you to lead the university and ensure that it continues to thrive. But we also want you to know that you can rely on us to help with everything from keeping lawns mowed, making sure the Wi-Fi is working. So when you arrive this spring, you were issued a key to raise and lower the baskets to the Sherman Center, or excuse me, in the Christian Center in the field house. So this morning, or yesterday, I had a request to give you a master key to the university. So I'll put together two different options. Here's the 1990 option. And here's the 2022. So remember, always with great power comes great responsibility. So welcome you.
Hello, Dr. Kittle and all gathered here today. As a representative of the student body at Dakota Wesleyan University, I have the unique opportunity to participate in the inauguration of a new president. Since you have arrived, you have made an impression on our students. You are present, available, and show genuine support and interest for our lives both here on campus and wherever we call home. As a student, each August feels like a new beginning. Your presidency is another type of new beginning. We look forward to seeing you at sporting events, matches and meets, concerts, theatrical performances and recitals, game nights, service projects, and worship. To make your entry to all of those events a little bit easier, we present you with this all-access pass. Please bring this to any DW event and show it at the door. You then will be given free admission. We also present you with this sign for you to proudly display to let everyone know that you are a true Tiger fan. The entire student body warmly welcomes you, Ashley, and Grant to share our college experience and have some fun along the way.
Good morning. What a wonderful and exciting day. For those of you I've not yet met, my name is Ashley Kittle, Dan's spouse. I want to start by saying thank you to all of those who have so warmly welcomed us to the Mitchell community and the DWU family. Dan and I and our 8-year-old son Grant have found a home here, and for that we are so thankful. For those I've not yet met, I hope to see you at campus events. Sometimes I'm not the most extroverted in the crowd, but please know that I'm eager to connect and get to know you. To the whole DWU community, as I hope you've already seen from Dan, he will give all he has, leading with compassion, optimism, and perseverance. He has a way of bringing people together and the vision to see the possibilities for the future. Grant and I are eager to support him in that work. Grant and I are also eager to do whatever we can for you and this community to make a difference and strengthen DWU and the city of Mitchell. And to you, Dan, you know how I feel about you and the important work that you feel called to do. I'm proud of you and love you. You care deeply about people. Grant and I feel that every day, and I know you will bring that same heart to Dakota Wesleyan. Finally, I would like to present to you this gift on behalf of your family and friends, to remind you that this work is about the people and to keep Christ at the center. Surrounding this familiar picture of the Sherman Center, you will find the names of the family and friends that have traveled here today. They have come from as far away as California, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, and Massachusetts, and many states in between, including Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, and Ohio. Let this signed picture be a reminder to you of all the family and friends that support you. As this picture does, it puts DWU at the center of our lives. A lot will be asked of you in the months and years to come, and I hope when you look at this, you will be reminded that all of us love and support you.
Dr. Kittle, I hope you know by now how welcome you are and how much we are looking forward to working with you. As chair of the DWU Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to conduct your formal investiture. Defined as the act of, or ceremony of conferring the authority and symbols of a high office, an investiture is an academic ceremony in which a new leader is vested with the official powers of office. Held during a president's first year in office, an investiture provides an opportunity to welcome a new chapter in the university's history and celebrate as a community. The installation of a new president is a ceremony of dignity with many academic traditions and protocols. It includes an academic procession of delegates from other colleges and universities, as well as the institution's own faculty. Marchers wear the colorful academic regalia of their own institution. Interspersed with musical selections, the event includes greetings from members of the community. During President Kittle's investiture, as with prior ceremonies for DWU presidents, the Presidential Medallion will be conferred. The Presidential Medallion is passed from president to president, a weighty symbol of investing President Kittle with responsibility to the university.
Thank you. The Lord says, I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received, to be completely humble and gentle, to be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. Calling, bearing with one another. These are from Ephesians chapter 4, and they urge us to pursue our callings within community. It's in that spirit we come together this morning as a community, bound by a shared mission, to open our 137th academic year, as well as to mark the occasion of your 21st president. In both my address and in today's ceremony, you will hear repeated references to commitments and callings. These are deeply rooted in our Methodist tradition. So this morning, as I pledge my commitment to you and Dakota Wesleyan University, I invite you to do the same. In fact, today's ceremony will culminate in a litany of commitments that will be led by your colleagues and peers. However, I appreciate that if one is to claim commitments with both purpose and clarity, it is important to understand the context in which those commitments are made, as well as the direction in which they lead us. I will therefore make an argument in support of higher education, and more specifically, for our different approach here at DWU. I will do so by offering a sketch of the environment in which we find ourselves today, and then given that context, I'll offer a vision for moving forward, one that comes from you and is already being acted upon by you. As you heard, a community on purpose. This was the theme that was selected for the week. Because talking about community in this place, with you all, the university and the community together, is authentic and it's robust. So it's a blessing today to have our community come together. As a way of welcoming you to this ceremony, as well as asking for those ongoing commitments to the university, I would like to briefly and directly address a number of different groups. I do so because I believe those groups embody unique and distinct ways, powerful commitments to this university and its purpose. First, to the faculty. Our faculty colleagues join us today in regalia, their formal academic robes, symbolizing their deep dedication to their respective disciplines and reminding us of the extraordinary lengths to which they have gone to achieve mastery in their respective field. They also come to us straight from class, and many of them will be returning to that today as well. They are a dedicated and innovative faculty, one I'd stack up against any other in the nation. Faculty, I thank you for welcoming me into this academic community. As the rhythms of the academic year remind us, we are in the midst of a new beginning, and I ask that you approach your work in that same spirit of renewal. I ask that you recommit to educating all of our students to be productive professionals and capable and engaged citizens. To members of the Dakota Wesleyan Board of Trustees, thank you first and foremost for your commitment to Dakota Wesleyan University. You are among a group of steadfast supporters who date back to the mid-1800s when another bold and dedicated group of supporters broke ground here. I thank you for the trust that you have placed in me to lead and steward this university. I accept your call to leadership with equal parts humility and resolve. I seek your recommitment. I ask you recommit yourselves to leading, advising, and supporting this great university. To past presidents of Dakota Wesleyan University, I've accepted this call to lead this university knowing that I join an esteemed group of leaders who have served as past president, a few of whom I am so pleased were able to join us today. Presidents Creasy, Novak, Ewing, Beto, and Messer, thank you for being here. You have provided stable, steady leadership in turbulent times, broadened the reach of DWU, and sparked a culture of innovation. I hope that I can honor the legacy of Dakota Wesleyan University and join you in an unbroken line of the men and women who have served this great university. I invite your counsel, and I ask that you keep us in our prayers as we work diligently to build upon and to extend Dakota Wesleyan's enviable progress and success. To the donors and friends of the university, as we perform our daily work, I'm reminded that we move in and out of buildings and spaces that bear the names of donors and supporters that provide critical support to this institution, our campus, our students, and our programs. To those that have contributed their time and treasure, thank you for being here, and thank you for the love and support that you show Dakota Wesleyan. We all bear witness to your contributions. I honor your legacy, and I invite your sustained commitment to DWU. To the physical plant and food services staff, we enjoy this beautiful campus, this space, and other spaces across campus because they are well cared for by colleagues. It is their hands daily that undertake the work of building, cleaning, trimming, fixing, setting up, and preparing. If we think of this gathering, this symbolic gathering as a community meal, it is they who have built the table and prepared the food. To these colleagues, I ask your continued loyalty and dependability, recommitting yourselves to ensuring our campus remains a shining jewel on the South Dakota prairie. To the staff that support, guide, and mentor our students, we stand shoulder to shoulder with staff that have come for meetings and projects involving students and who return to that work supporting students within hours, if not minutes, after this event. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the passion and the care that you bring to every student in every program. As you live out your own callings in support of students, I seek your recommitment to meeting students where they are and helping them discover and claim their own callings. To the delegates in attendance, in addition to providing me with an opportunity to publicly express my commitment to the university today, today's ceremony also enables me to reaffirm my commitment to higher education. And in that work, I'm fortunate to be joined by delegates from other fine colleges and universities. Thank you for being here. You and we are a community of servant leaders. Let us call on each other to the benefit of our students and for the enterprise of higher education. To the faith community, I began my comments this morning with biblical text because I value my faith, and maybe even more important to you, I see faith expression and exploration as critical to a holistic education. In this important work, I value campus ministry, and I see the blessings and opportunities born of having Fusion, a United Methodist congregation right here on campus. I appreciate the partnership and possibilities that come with the downtown Mitchell First United Methodist congregation. and I value having the offices of the Dakota's United Methodist Conference right across the street. The faith community is strong here, and we can agree that we are strengthened by brothers and sisters from all faith traditions. I am eager for your partnership, and I ask for your prayers and recommitment to supporting Dakota Wesleyan University. To my fellow citizens of Mitchell, thank you for being employers, engaged citizens, kind neighbors, quality educators, and the fans in the stands. We, DWU and Mitchell, we have a rich history of supporting one another. Please continue to support our students and our work, and let us continue to find ways to come together, understanding that we are intertwined, the prosperity of one benefiting the other. And on a personal note, Ashley, Grant, and I, we live here with pride, and we commit ourselves to you, our neighbors, and this great community. To my family and friends, I had a chance last evening to say a bit about each of you, but I know your presence is an act of love for me and for each other. I am not here today accepting this important work without what you have given me, and therefore I hope whatever joy you have for me on this occasion, that you are able to capture some for yourself. Every moment where I provide hope, love, and compassion is rooted in what you have taught me. Thank you for your continued love and support. And to our alumni, I have seen the power of your commitments. Earlier this summer, as I worked in my office, Jory Hansen, our university's director of development, he brought by a couple that had graduated from the university long ago. As I recall the story, and I hope I have the details right, she was a local girl who enrolled, as many do, because it was close to home. He was a New York transplant, had been recruited here to a small college for the opportunity to study and to play a sport that he loved. In storybook fashion, they met, they fell in love, they married immediately after graduation, they built a beautiful life of service as educators in New York. So their travels had brought them back to campus to reminisce and to look at all the wonderful things that had changed and grown over the years, but also to appreciate the ethos and the culture that had remained the same. I tell you that story not because it's unusual, but because it's common. As you know, alumni connections to this place, they run deep, and many of them choose to recommit themselves over and over again to volunteering, visiting, and giving. We are grateful to be a part of those stories, thousands of stories involving lives of purpose and community across the country and around the world. So as I hope you can sense, I come to this morning with deep appreciation, honored to be called to this work, and frankly, awestruck and overwhelmed by your support and by your presence here today. I'm extremely grateful to begin my tenure of service with you. I accept this responsibility, this commitment with you, and in concert with the thousands of alumni and friends of Dakota Wesleyan University. As we contemplate the prospect of recommitting ourselves or finding a new purpose, it is understandable we might look beyond these walls and the friendly confines of the Mitchell campus to the larger world. And in doing so, we might lose faith. As we look beyond these walls, some may see a broken world, filled with overwhelming inputs from countless sources, lives dedicated to materialism, to grasping for that one more thing that promises to fill a void or to bring us status. For some of us, this can feel like a challenging time to be committed to the enterprise of higher education, and even more broadly, to the aspiration of preparing engaged, educated citizens to meet the many domestic and global challenges before us. Hence, some may see our current era as a season of winter, one of hardship to be endured, a season whereby we keep our heads down, we isolate ourselves, and we weather the storm. A new dark ages of sorts, during which the best we can hope for is mere survival. I don't see it that way. Rather than the winter, I see the spring. And I see the spring because my ultimate focus is on an historical arc of progress, one that fills me with hope and renewed optimism. Ultimately, education has always been a critical element of a uniquely American optimism. So higher education is both a private good, one improving the life of the individual and their family, and a public good, as evidenced by the benefits of a prepared and dedicated citizenry, contributing to the advancement of our communities. On the first account, a university educating and benefiting the individual, we have abundant evidence supporting higher education's value as a private good. Over the course of their lifetime, a college graduate has higher earning potential, enjoys better health, is more likely to volunteer, is more likely to be employed, and thereby will enjoy other benefits like employer-provided retirement plans and health insurance, and is less likely to receive public assistance. So this is powerful data, a testament that I know many public policy experts, parents, and others find compelling. However, I say to you that those numbers are not enough, and they aren't my primary motivation for a professional life dedicated to higher education. I believe that higher education today is called to move beyond a cramped perspective that focuses primarily on the individual benefits. I believe we must challenge ourselves to extend our focus to engage students with questions of purpose and commitment. And maybe even more boldly, we should seek to restore confidence in our institutions that serve the public good, and thereby restore our confidence in each other. In accordance with its mission, Dakota Wesleyan has a long and compelling history of encouraging its graduates to live active lives of leadership and service. We do so because it shapes a life worth living, and we do so because we understand a university education as a contribution to the public good. We attest to that mission today, but not as an act of desperation, sensing that the need for such citizens is so great, but with an historical arc and context where we have witnessed what comes from dedicated servant leadership. We must remember, as an American society, we have endured for nearly 300 years, fought a revolution, withstood a civil war, experienced epidemics, dust bowls, droughts, floods, hurricanes, wars, terrorist attacks, internal strife, and countless crises in public confidence. We must remember, as a university, we have endured for nearly half that span. Through fires, failures, small enrollments, tight budgets, claims that our work is meaningless, and been witness to sister institutions only miles away closing their doors. Today, as a society, yes, we endure fractures. We fill our buckets with likes from social media posts, the pursuit of material possessions, the willingness to become a society of spectacle. So therefore, some see this as a season of winter. They anticipate defeat as they fall over the demographic cliff. They are wounded by the critics, claiming the irrelevance of higher education, and they fall into the rhetoric of division and fracture that is aggrandized by our polarized media. But my friends, these are not new. The claims of the demise of higher education are not new. Steve Mintz recently wrote in Inside Higher Ed that virtually every decade over the past century has produced books with such titles as Higher Education in Crisis, 1995, The Education Crisis, 1988, Campus Unrest, 1970, The Big Squeeze, Crisis on Campus, 1946, and Crisis on Campus, 1900. Yes, the concerns have shifted, but the belief that higher education is faced with impending calamity continues. I share that context not as a means to make light of the challenges, but to suggest how I believe we ought to respond to those challenges. The challenges of the moment should impact our strategies and our strategies only. They shouldn't sow seeds of doubt, or worse yet, an anxiety, and one that leads to a lack of confidence in the important work at hand. Worry will not drive our agenda. Critics will not sap our energies. Instead, we will lean into this moment. We will recognize the possibilities, because we come to this with a certain spirit, one that doesn't see this as the winter of higher education, but rather as the spring. We at Dakota Wesleyan recognize the possibilities, and we will do it differently. These are hopeful times because we know what to do with the opportunity at hand. We are engaged in the work that the moment demands. And while we know that our initial responses will not be perfect, we are confident in our ability to learn by doing, to learn from our mistakes and missteps, and to build new models of higher education that are more impactful than ever for students. We are doing what needs to be done. We are in the ring. Teddy Roosevelt once said, "The credit belongs to one actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotion, who spends themselves in a worthy cause, who at best, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if they fail, at least fails while daring greatly." We are in the arena. That's us. And author Brene Brown has picked up on that wisdom, and she reminds us to dare greatly, to be bold. And we have all that it takes for such boldness. So, for those who have the winter of despair, they haven't come to know you. They haven't come to know the people and the mission of Dakota Wesleyan University. With you as teachers, students, colleagues, donors, and friends, we have what we need to realize an inspired vision. I have hope, extraordinary hope. And it's not because I don't give consideration to the challenges. Rather, it is because I see the possibilities born of this moment, because I have faith in God, and because I have faith in you. On this topic of my charge to be in the ring, to dare greatly, I want to take just a moment to speak directly to the students. Students, you may have concerns about the fractures in our nation, but don't let those concerns fall into despair and frustration, as those emotions of defeat could lead to cynicism, bitterness, and inaction. Hold your convictions, but retain your humility, continually seeking to learn and to understand. We often oversimplify things we don't understand. Therefore, take the practices and habits that you've developed here to be citizens that seek to learn and to be servant leaders. And maybe most of all, and most important to me, care. Care about your communities, even though others will be critical. Care, as Roosevelt described, get in the arena. Carry the spirit and the ethos of your alma mater with you, a spirit that is not afraid to take action. Because in there, in the arena, you'll find challenge, but you will find a force of purpose and meaning, and ultimately a force of hope that will move you forward. Your university, if you get engaged and dedicate yourself, will prepare you to be active, engaged citizens. Aspire for no less. To my university colleagues, alumni, and friends, we must play our part. I need you, and we need each other. We aspire to be a learning community, and therefore we recognize that our work, it's more than the hours we put in or the completion of the immediate tasks, whether those be grading, teaching, planning, cleaning, repairing, or caring for our students. If we pull all those together, all those efforts together, it's something providential. God's work at hand. God is calling us into vocation. As I have said to you before, and as I'll remind us time and time again, theologian Frederick Buechner describes vocation as though on the one hand, our gifts, our talents, and our abilities, and on the other, the needs of the world. And where those come together, where those meet, is our vocation. And that's a framework for us individually, but it's also a framework for us as a university to define our purpose amidst so many challenges, so much noise, and so many opportunities. If we approach our work as a vocation, I am convinced we will accomplish great things, more than we can even imagine today. So let's look to the future. At the root of vocation is a process of discovery. Right? Put simply, vocational discernment means figuring out one's purpose in life, discovery and rediscovery. And yes, there are different chapters in life, chapters in which one is called to different roles. But these different roles, they're united by common themes. Institutionally, we call such a common theme our mission. The task, then, for institutions and much for individuals is to articulate a vision that, while aligns with mission, responds to the needs of the moment. What is our calling at this moment in response to the context, challenges, and opportunities of the day? What are those gifts and abilities lie in response to those challenges and opportunities? Since my arrival on campus in March, the university has been engaged in an increasingly intentional and focused process of discernment. Remaining faithful to our mission, how do we respond strategically and impactfully to the challenges that we face today? This process, it's unfolded in a variety of ways. It began very broadly with many listening sessions I've held here on campus with you all, the members of the campus community. The process, it's been aided by data. It's also been aided by retreats with cabinet and our leadership council. And then last week, as you know, the entire campus community, we engaged in small group discussions, responding to and discussing key elements that had emerged over the course of the preceding months. This process, it will come into sharper focus in the weeks and months to come as leadership council and cabinet review all the information that's come from these important engagements. And then in a little over a month, that process of discernment will once again include the Board of Trustees. With their wisdom and dedication and direction in hand, we'll take our vision out to broader constituents, seeking their ideas and feedback. Ultimately, we will offer a vision that is bold, one that's coupled with strategies that lead us to consequential actions, actions that improve the lives of students and strengthen our work with one another. Thus, while at this point it would be premature to articulate a full-fledged vision statement, certain foundational elements or commitments that will inform that vision are clear, and I'm eager to share those with you this morning. First, the university is deeply committed to learning, growth, and development. This may strike some as unremarkable, given that the university's learning and values come and are centered on learning. Nevertheless, I would argue that Dakota Wesleyan is somewhat unique in this regard, because the commitment to learning, growth, and development involves not only a focus on students, but there's also a commitment to each other, to supporting faculty and staff in their own continual and ongoing learning, growth, and development. Second, the university is committed to expanding access and to developing the potential of all learners. Yes, we continue to refine and innovate here on campus. We are piloting and experimenting. We're also doing the same beyond our Mitchell campus, whether it be in our practical church leadership program, our Learn and Earn program, our certificate and degree completion program, or the professional workshops that we are developing for industry. In all of these, we clearly see ourselves as being responsive to the learners, meeting them where they are and helping them advance in their personal, professional, and civic lives. Third, the university understands higher education not only as a private good, but as a public one. While the university justifiably takes pride in the accomplishments of its graduates, it takes equal pride in preparing graduates for their role as citizens. This is evident not only in the university's commitment to its missional values of leadership, faith, and service, but in the university's civic-oriented general education program, which seeks even more intentionally to prepare students for thoughtful and engaged citizenship. As I've noted, it is this work, the work of preparing students for professional lives of ethical leadership and service, and for lives dedicated to the broader ideals of contributing to the public good, which motivate me to dedicate my life, my professional life, to Dakota Wesleyan University. It's also what brings me back to hope. We are an institution that I ascribe as one with great integrity. We know who we are. We are deeply rooted in our mission. Our faculty and staff come to our work with purpose. And because of that rootedness, we are agile, continually seek to improve, discern, and find our way to a common vision, one with strategies that will make a difference in the lives of students. As we continue our work to distill these commitments into a vision statement and ultimately a strategic plan, I can assure you of the following. We will continue to innovate, being agile, ensuring we have a curriculum that prepares students for successful professional work and for being active and engaged citizens. We will prioritize student success. For example, as many of you have learned about at the workshops, we are prioritizing initiatives to improve retention. We will gather as a community. We will gather to be informed and engaged and in fellowship with one another. We will raise money for the endowment, work that is already underway, but that will include a $50 million campaign that engages all of us in supporting students. We will provide leadership development, like what we did when Leadership Council gathered earlier this month, and like what we are scheduled to do in October at a Tiger Tuesday. And we will do all of this work within a culture of appreciation, appreciating the earnest and impactful efforts that we pour into this place. We will prioritize employee appreciation. In turn, I make a few specific commitments to you. I will be open, vulnerable, listening to your critiques and seeking always to appreciate your intentions. I will be a bridge builder, working to bring us together as a learning community, to learn from each other, and to be in fellowship. I will be present with you, particularly in those moments where we witness the work of our students in pursuit of scholarship, performance, and competition. I will attend chapel, and I invite you to join me. And I will be active outside of the campus community. I will engage in the work of the United Methodist Church, the Great Plains Athletic Conference, and national associations that bring back fresh ideas and time-tested best practices. And I will also be out there sharing the Dakota Wesleyan story, strengthening existing relationships and cultivating new ones. I also, unfortunately, in pursuit of our good work, I will make mistakes. We will have setbacks, failures, and disappointments. But I attest to you today that they will be in earnest and honest service to ensuring the longevity and the prosperity of this great university. In those moments where I fall short or we experience disappointment, I ask for your clear and honest counsel with equal measure of grace, so we might be able to put at the center of our work the love for the institution rather than our own hurt feelings or disappointments. And I promise that same to you. In the end, our university's tradition of learning, leadership, faith, and service, it will transcend our limitations. And despite those personal limitations, will prosper because of our collective call to shared commitments. These shared commitments that I have called on us to today to renew, when fortified by a deeply rooted and distinct mission, present a strong foundation for a university education. Your commitments and our values of learning, leadership, faith, and service are also the foundation of a democratic society, a set of values that enables us to come together and to solve complex problems. Therefore, as we leave today's ceremony, let us do so with confidence, hope, and renewed purpose for our work as educators and citizens alike, so that with God's help, we might leave a lasting, positive legacy at Dakota Wesleyan University and in the world at large. I accept the call, hand in hand with you, to live out this vision and to serve the mission of Dakota Wesleyan University. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
As part of today's ceremony, we will all participate in a litany of commitments. A representative of each university constituency will recite a commitment with members of that representative's cohort standing and responding to the commitment. We'll begin with Pastor Taryn Regals representing the United Methodist Church.
Will all members and affiliates of the United Methodist Church please rise? Gracious God, we offer our thanks to you today for your steadfast love and mercy, for our ancestors of faith and their commitment to education. You have called out and equipped your people to fulfill this university's commitment to serve young people and the world. We offer our thanks for the students, faculty, staff, and alumni who have gone before us, and for those who are yet to come. We especially thank you this day for President Kittle and for all who share a new and renewed commitment to a mission of learning and grace. Let us be guided by faith. You may be seated.
Will all Dakota Wesleyan students please rise? We are grateful for our homes and families, for faith communities, teachers, mentors, and guides that have brought us to this day. The influence that the faculty, advisors, coaches, mentors, staff members, and community members make us better people, and we have an effect on all whose lives we touch. We renew our commitment to lives of learning that embrace the world and open our hearts and souls to neighbors near and far. Let us embrace the world. Please be seated.
Will all members of Dakota Wesleyan faculty please rise? We are grateful to those who have taught and supported us in our own work of learning, for teachers, colleagues, family, mentors, and friends. We pledge our knowledge, imagination, and encouragement to the students who share our classroom, and partner with everyone on campus as together we seek to grow in wisdom, insight, and service. Even in the turmoil of busy schedules, we remain true to the idea that we are called upon to support our colleagues across campus in their daily endeavors. Let us continue to grow in wisdom. Please be seated.
Will all the delegates of higher education please rise? We are grateful for this time and place and for a larger community of learning committed to scholarship and service to the world. We will continue to seek ways of sharing with this campus and campuses everywhere our passion for truth and wisdom and understanding. Let us assume our position of truth. Please be seated.
Thank you. All right. Will all Dakota Wesleyan staff please rise? We are grateful to serve in partnership with faculty and students on this campus. We give thanks for the people and experiences that have led us to this place. We renew our commitment to share the wealth of our gifts with students as we are called to serve each day. We affirm that our work supports all of our colleagues and allows us to serve students and the community. Let us be renewed in our daily work.
Will all Dakota Wesleyan alumni please rise? We are grateful for the gifts we have received from Dakota Wesleyan University and the heritage of caring that we have taken with us into life. We recommit ourselves to the work of serving the world and sharing the gifts of our education and experiences in our daily work and in our life in our community. We pledge our continued love and support to this work that Dakota Wesleyan University may faithfully respond to the challenges and opportunities for the future. Let us all respond to new challenges. You may be seated.
Will the members of the Dakota Wesleyan Board of Trustees please rise? As we look ahead to a bright future, we are grateful for the vision and devotion of those who have preceded us and the strength Dakota Wesleyan University possesses in its faculty, students, staff, alumni, and friends. We commit ourselves to work with all who share our loyalty to Dakota Wesleyan's mission and future. Let us all commit to learning. Please be seated. Will all who are here today please rise? By participating in today's investiture, we express our gratitude and admiration for the institution that is Dakota Wesleyan University. We will continue to support and share the stories that make this university the special place that it is now and into the future. Let us all in support of Dakota Wesleyan University. Please be seated. Dr. Kittle, please come forward and receive the charge to the President and the people. This inauguration today is designed to mark the beginning of a new chapter in the history of Dakota Wesleyan University. Today, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I install you, Daniel R. Kittle, as President of Dakota Wesleyan University and confer upon you the authority, the rights, the responsibilities, and the challenges associated with this office. As is the custom, I deliver to you, President Kittle, a formal charge to guide our service. First, you are to place our Lord Jesus Christ, whose school this is, at the heart of your service. You are to take full advantage of God's promise that He will direct the path of His faithful servants. You should contemplate and pray to know what you are to do. You must counsel with others and study whatever facts you can gather. When you pray and ask in faith, may you receive inspiration. Second, you are to serve and guide all who teach, lead, learn, and labor here. Help to continue the university's efforts to ensure that all are welcome, no matter their religion, gender, race, or national origin. Third, your charge is to find ways to inspire, mentor, counsel, and uplift all students and scholars who study and participate in the active life of this university. Help them to find their vocation and pursue a future of fulfilling work and meaningful service. Fourth, you are to demonstrate and express gratitude for those who have preceded you in the work of building this university from its humble beginnings to its current prestige. They each gave and sacrificed to build this institution. Growth was not easy for them, nor will it be easy for you. Your charge is to preserve and express gratitude to those who value and support the missions of this university. Finally, you are charged to exemplify in your life and family the ideals of the gospel. You are to treat your family members as your most precious treasure. You will, by placing them above all other achievements, inspire for good all who are blessed to experience your example and influence. God bless you in the future endeavors and remain at your side in the years to come.
The use of hands is an ancient symbol from the scripture and the history of the church. It signifies the giving and receiving of a blessing. Traditionally, it has been used to signify God's blessing upon a new leader, and in our case, for President Daniel Kittle. We who have gathered here today represent various segments of the community of Dakota Wesleyan University for the investiture of President Kittle. We offer a blessing with our right hand. I invite you to raise your hand as a sign of blessing, to demonstrate our support for President Kittle as he leads the university in its mission to develop leaders in service to God and humanity. As a community, however, we also recognize that our institutional success depends on each of our efforts to model learning, leadership, faith, and service as we strive to create transforming experience to strengthen our university, community, and world. Symbolically, we commit ourselves to this mission and vision by placing our left hands on the shoulder of one near to you. We'll see how you do this with holding your pamphlet as well. I notice this is a little tricky there. You can work it out however you need to there. And we recognize that through community, we are stronger as a university. For all who are looking for hope, for direction, for their path to the future, may they come and see. Invest President Kittle with vision and wisdom. For all whose ears are deafened by the cacophony of noises of the world, and for all whose tongues are tied and twisted. Invest President Kittle with faith and courage. For all who seek a foundation for life, and for all who seek to take hold of a life that really is life. Invest President Kittle with love and service, with praise and thanksgiving, with guidance and peace to all from our Creator, Jesus Christ, our Redeemer, and the presence of the Holy Spirit this day and every day, now and forever. Amen.
Receive then this benediction. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and give you peace. Amen. People of God, children of God, go in peace and take care of each other.